Love 15.
Cerundolo, good win over the always unpredictable Sasha Bublik in the opening round in straight sets, and then against Facundo Diaz-Acosta in round 2. Only played a set there before his opponent retired.
The pattern that de Minaur loves.
Love 40.
One forehand cross court, then looking to step in, take the forehand down the line early. It's a bit of a tame error from Cerundolo, isn't it? Slow start here from the Argentine.
$15, $40.
For de Minaur, the straight sets wins in his opening couple of rounds. And the ideal start for de Minaur.
First game.
Well, we talked about Cerundolo's forehand, how dangerous it can be, but his backhand was found wanting there. It's usually a fairly solid shot where he just looks to sort of keep the ball in play, move it around and hunt for his forehand, but 3 unforced errors there, and he's coughed up a very cheap break of serve.
The thing for me about de Minaur and his path through so far, talk about the great players and how they construct major tournaments. You get through that first week, you want to try and get through as minimal fuss as possible, not really be pushed all that much.
Alex
and he's done that. 7-5, really the only set that's gone the distance, really. He's looked pretty good out there. Hasn't been pushed. A couple of straight sets wins, comparatively speaking, of course.
And that first round win was good, you know, against Botic van der Sandskoog. He's a dangerous player. Beat Alcaraz at the US Open. You know, I thought that might have been a tough test, but de Minaur took care of him pretty handily. Did the same against Tristan Boyer in the second round.
$30.
There is Team de Minaur. Tony Roach in the house as well. And Hewitt courtside. Adolfo Gutierrez at the back. Matt Reed part of that team.
$30-15.
Well, for de Minaur,
30 all.
seeded 8th here this year at the Australian Open. Looking back at his season last year on a hard court, he's got one of the best return games in the men's game. He's 3rd in percentage of return games won on a hard court, behind only Sinner and Medvedev in that regard. Very, very good on the break points as well. He was 2nd on tour in break points converted on hard courts. So he breaks serve with just about as much regularity as anyone. But it's his own serve, 2nd double of the game there, where
30-40.
it's not bad, but it's just not, certainly not as good as his return game, not as good as some of the top players in the game. Where does he rank there? 26th in percentage of service games won. 38th in first serve points won. He's really been trying to work on that area of his game, identifying the key area. Just taking a bit of time to find his rhythm on serve here.
And so,
Cerundolo.
a couple of breaks to start off the match.
1 game all.
I can't help thinking that they've both been affected by the quickness of the conditions here. It is fiery, you know, and the ball does jump and fire, come through on you quite unexpectedly in these conditions. So it might take them a little while, maybe half a set to settle down, I would guess.
And it's maybe one of the hottest days of the first week. Would you agree?
Yes, it feels warm. It feels like it's mid-20s air temperature down here, Colin, but it would be a lot more than that Celsius on the court in the playing conditions.
Yeah, so maybe just the liveliest conditions these players have played in as yet, and it's taking some time to adjust. Nerves, early nerves in a match and lively conditions, usually not a great combination. I'm sure they'll both settle in. So Alexander Zverev, about this time of day yesterday over in Margaret Court Arena, he changed racket about 3 times early in the first set, just trying to find the right blend, the right string tension.
Cerundolo
15 all.
played at big stadiums around the world, but now adjusting from being on outside courts here, which are a lot smaller in terms of the surface area, to the biggest stage here on Rod Laver Arena. It's another adjustment he needs to make.
Let. Second serve. $30-15.
The 3 titles that Cerundolo has won, 2 of them have been on clay and 1 on grass. In fact, his best result at a major has been Roland Garros, round of 16 a couple of times.
$40-15.
Rhythm on serve, a struggle in these early stages for the players.
Very scrappy early stages here. Nicholas Pastor there in the white t-shirt, the coach of Cerundolo.
Game, Cerundolo.
But Cerundolo holds on serve the early stage of this one. It's
Cerundolo
2 games to 1.
leads 2 games to 1.
It's Alex de Minaur playing his matches on Rod Laver Arena in the 2025 tournament, as we saw his coach Leighton Hewitt do so many times. In fact, interesting stat for you, Colin. Leighton Hewitt has played only 1 match across his Australian Open career elsewhere from Rod Laver Arena.
Is that right?
That was his first match that he played, which I think was on court 3. Played against Sergei Bruguera, and then after that, all his matches were here on RLA.
Well, he was a pretty special player. As ever around the world, you know, fans here in Melbourne love to get behind the home hopes.
Warm conditions here in Rod Laver Arena. Players trying to find some rhythm on serve.
Love.
Gutierrez to the left of that shot. Leighton Hewitt on the right.
Well, he's looking to go big with the second serve. Doesn't have maybe as much shape and spin as some of the great servers in the game, so the margins are a little smaller, and certainly been off with the second serve so far today. So better second serve there, just a little more grip on the ball. But, this scrappy start continues for de Minaur, you know, who, a reminder, requested this afternoon day session match, wanted the hot, fiery conditions, but he's not adjusted to them well so far.
I think in conditions like this, initially you have to lower your sights, because the ball is carrying probably 2, sometimes 3 meters longer than you think, and they need to just shorten their sights. I think, bring the ball back a little bit, aim shorter for a while.
40.
That'll feel good. First ace to the match, just to get things rolling. There's a great example of that Cerundolo forehand. We're going to see a lot today.
Yeah, first time he's really introduced his forehand to this match and to this Rod Laver Arena crowd. Dictating that point. That's where he loves to be, in the backhand corner, hitting forehands. So much speed and spin, and just dispatch the short ball as well. Such a weapon for the Argentine. And that's it. To Fitzy's point, you know, that ball, in cooler conditions or later in the evening, that goes in the court. It's just with the heat in the air, it just keeps flying, and de Minaur doesn't have a lot of spin on the ball, particularly on the backhand. It's one of the flattest on tour. So he's just struggling to control the ball here.
He's 4 of 14 in terms of first serves into play in the early stages of this match. Cerundolo 3 of 11.
Let's first serve. Advantage, de Minaur.
Very comfortable coming forward. Alex de Minaur push back nicely for this one.
Game, de Minaur.
There was a battle, but he got through that one.
Well, we like to talk forehands and backhands and serves in this sport, but let's not forget the intangibles as well. You know, the mindset, the fight. Alex de Minaur. He showed some there. It's a real quality of his. Hasn't really had to use it much in this tournament so far. He's been too good for his first two opponents, but just digging in there, coming through, getting the crowd engaged. Feels like it could be game on from here in this one.
Love 15. Pumped.
Another wild one there. Speaking of mindset,
Love 30.
Cerundolo, you know, when he's right in the match or when he's on top of the match, not an issue, but I've seen him over the past couple of seasons, when he gets behind in matches, the head can go down. Can become a little negative, can vent towards his team. So many players do these days. So De Minaur can steal a march, get this opening set, get ahead. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Colin, I'm sure you've played tennis in altitude. That's what this reminds me a little bit of, is when you have to shorten your swings, the ball is on you quicker than it normally is, and it will float. It will carry further in the conditions. It's just like playing in altitude at the moment.
Constructed the point so well. And Cerundolo, he was having a battle with that backhand. Just couldn't finish it.
That was an indication of one of the balls they were using. All of a sudden became quite enlarged, fluffy. It'll do that on this surface if it's hit enough times and it makes contact with the surface. So that made it a little easier in that rally. Not to miss. Good scramble there by Alex.
He's got the power and he's got the touch as well.
Well, Alex de Minaur, you know, he's added firepower to his game, but we still love watching him chase down balls and look to steal points off his opponents. There's no such thing as a lost cause. He very nearly made up the ground, but it's a quality point from Cerundolo.
So it's a break of serve for De Minaur. And the Sun has settled into a rhythm now. It's the Aussie 3-2 in the first.
Love. $15 all. $30-15.
backhand is a real problem for the 31st seed. He's got to solidify that shot quickly, or he's going to be in trouble. Makes life very simple for de Minaur in this case when you're struggling this badly with one stroke. He could just keep hitting the ball there. It's a simple tactic. Nice look there at the first serve average speed. Look at de Minaur in 2024, 190 kilometers an hour. Really beefing it up. 203 in the previous rounds here, 212 kilometers an hour on average today.
There's the extra pace. Hot shotters who are courtside loving it at the moment. It's William and Hector from the Macedon Tennis Club sitting courtside for this one.
Well, they're loving it. And this was a pretty hot shot as well, wasn't it? First forehand that he's really rifled. He's got, full-blooded strike, let the racket go. He wasn't worried about the outcome there. He was just getting after a big forehand, and that will have felt awfully good.
Just to explain a little bit about that, Macedon is the north of Melbourne, sort of heading towards more of a regional area. If we were driving north from here, Colin, a nice little part of the world, nice little town, great tennis club.
Grass courts there, Pete?
No, it wouldn't be grass courts up there.
There's another one. Really starting to show what he's about now, de Minaur. He's settled in.
Isn't it interesting how very, very good players find a way? They look like they're out of form because the conditions don't suit them, and then they just work it out. They problem solve. These guys are hitting the ball better now. More consistency. The next challenge will be when the new balls arrive and they're fast and firier again.
Match at the moment very much on de Minaur's terms. Is right where he wants to be in those rallies, right on top of the baseline.
Well, last few points, we mentioned de Minaur requested this match in the heat of the day, wanted the quick conditions, and we're starting to see why. Hitting flat through the court, rushing Cerundolo. He's hit a couple of big forehand winners past him as well. Things really starting to look good for de Minaur.
Was fractionally short there from de Minaur.
That's what he's capable of. Maybe only the second or third time we've seen it, but when he's able to load up on that forehand, you better watch out. The way he accelerates the racket, loose hands, so It's the combination of speed and spin.
Deuce.
And that backhand side continuing to be worked over.
John Fitzgerald wouldn't have liked that slice backhand, that's for sure.
I'm starting to worry that you might know where I live, Colin. You know me that well.
You wouldn't have missed that one. It's not a comfortable shot there for Cerundolo.
I'll tell you one thing, though. It's rare you see a forehand with this flair and power. But this is, it's scary how big his forehand is. When you sit on the side of the court, as I have the thrill of doing today, it is a different, it's visually so different. And it is a massive forehand that this young lad possesses.
Got a little too excited at the short ball there, though.
Deuce. Advantage. Cerundolo.
Talk about de Minaur settling into the match. And the feeling that Cerundolo is now finding a reasonable rhythm, getting into these rallies. The rally's starting to lengthen now. Oh, it was cleverly done by Cerundolo. He holds. He's keeping pace with de Minaur, but the Aussie upper break, it's 4-3. Look at this de Minaur forehand.
Look where he's hitting it from, right up on top of the baseline.
Let's have a look at it from Cerundolo.
It's a different forehand. The way he produces it here. Racket face is very close, and then he just whips it up the back of the ball. So as I say, it's not just the speed, but heavy topspin as well. That means that when the ball jumps, it probably slows down less. You know, it really jumps off the court as the topspin takes effect.
So let's see how de Minaur goes now with the new tennis balls.
We've
15.
been talking about the Cerundolo forehand. Let's have a quick look here. The average topspin forehand speed and spin rate for the match so far. 133 kilometers an hour. Cerundolo, de Minaur 118. De Minaur's forehand's pretty good. Cerundolo's a lot bigger, 15 Ks on average. And an extra 400 RPM as well, 2,700. That's right up there for Cerundolo. You know, anything 130 kilometers an hour and up on the forehand on average, that's as big as it gets.
That change-up play and throw in from time to time.
15 all.
And it's a good play. He's a good volleyer, de Minaur. He's quick. But it gives Cerundolo no chance, no time to get his main weapon into play either. I think de Minaur can continue to bring that serve volley into his play throughout this match. Not every point, maybe once a game, something like that. Just a good mix.
(30-15). (40-15).
It's a problem, isn't it, the backhand? I mean, he's so frightening when he gets a forehand, but you feel like if you can hit 3 or 4 balls into the backhand wing in these conditions, you might get an error at the moment.
There's the contrast, isn't it, from forehand to backhand for Cerundolo.
Maybe a hint of frustration channeled into
40-30.
those forehands. It's always the way, you know, there always is a big differential between his forehand and his back, but usually his backhand is sort of just rock solid. He keeps it in play. He doesn't need to go for winners because he just needs to wait for that chance to get the forehand, then he takes control. But so far today, the backhand is breaking down. 13 on forced errors off that wing already.
Dude.
There's the rest of Tim de Minaur. See Katie Bolter in the pink cap at the back there. Tony Roach, part of that team as well. And there they are on court. Can't fit the whole entourage courtside.
Advantage. De Minaur.
Great swing and serve there, and using the crowd to his advantage as well.
Let's. First serve.
He did well there, Cerundolo. It's that sort of depth of shot that'll allow him to get into that forehand.
Dude.
And land that first blow, it gives him options. You can see right on the line. allows him to do that.
Advantage, de Minaur.
Two good wide serves, the last two juice points from de Minaur. Maybe Cerundolo expecting the ball the other side into his backhand wing.
Deuce.
There have been some long games. We're 43 minutes into this contest, into game number 8.
There just hasn't really been much rhythm to it. These players have adjusted, they've improved, but they're still not fully comfortable in these lively or daytime conditions, I don't think. Still some uncharacteristic errors from both.
Let. Second serve.
First meeting between the two as well, so a bit of sort of adjustment there, getting used to each other's games.
Advantage.
As Colin mentioned, just keep an eye on the frustration levels of that player. I'm starting to feel it just a little bit.
Deuce.
Brilliant. By far the best two-handed backhand he struck today.
Advantage.
Just a sign that he's
Cerundolo.
starting to feel it here. Nice combination of shots. In fact, it feels like he's hardly hit a backhand down the line. So just catching de Minaur off guard. The Aussie trying to camp out in his own backhand corner, looking for his forehand.
The other thing has been the depth of shot from Cerundolo. Now finding that range consistently on the baseline, just inside.
Good serve, but Cerundolo has to make that return for me. It's 205 kilometers an hour. It's quick, but it's sort of in the hitting zone, and you've got to expect that serve into your backhand as well, you would think.
And again, it becomes very streaky from Cerundolo.
De Minaur.
Just wondering if he likes more pace on that side when it comes through quickly. To me, at the moment, I'm suspecting that he handles it better a little less pace. Not so.
Yes.
It's probably true of both players on their backhands. De Minaur, pretty flat backhand, likes to use the pace of his opponents. When he has to generate his own, it's sometimes a little uncomfortable.
Advantage. De Minaur.
Mixing up the serve nicely too, De Minaur, particularly in that court. He's been afraid to go short angle wide in the deuce court onto the forehand of Cerundolo with good results. And now just working over the backhand again. He's so fast around the court. There's no way he can leave a drop shot there.
Well, he was there easy, wasn't he, Peter? I mean, this is a court surface and these conditions where the ball's going to bounce high. I know the guys who play a lot of their tennis in their formative years on clay use the drop shot beautifully, and the Argentinians have mastered the art over the years, but it's a dangerous surface to play it, especially against the speed of this guy. He was there easily for that.
Yeah, maybe just a shot. As Fitzy says, that Cerundolo has ingrained in his system from all the time on clay, but if you're going to hit a drop shot here, it better be perfect. Good job there from De Minaur to come through a steely hold of serve.
It took the crowd more time than after Cerundolo had hit his first serve. They still weren't settled down after experiencing the speed. That shocked them how quick he was, I think, up to that ball.
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic has spoken of De Minaur being the fastest player in the game. Hard to argue with. Most players, vast majority of players now are good movers, but De Minaur is exceptional.
Do you think he's got Leighton Hewitt covered there? What do you think, Colin?
I think he might. You know, it's hard, isn't it, to compare sort of two players that played in different eras, but I think he might. What do you think?
Well, certainly these days.
That was kind of the foundation for De Minaur in terms of that speed
40,
around the court, chasing down every single ball. Now to put pressure on opponents because they'd have to win the rally 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, and he's still got that.
Yeah.
But his evolution as a player and the work he's doing to try and do damage in these tournaments. Real damage, maybe win one day, is adding firepower to his game.
So Cerundolo holds, but De Minaur will serve for the opening set next at 5-4.
Want to look for 1 or 2 down the line just to keep De Minaur honest.
Time.
Well, a physical encounter out there. Alex de Minaur looking to finish off this opening set.
Love 15.
Nicholas Pastor just providing that bit of encouragement as a player on the tour himself.
I don't think he's the easiest player to coach, Francisco Cerundolo. Can be a little bit up and down with his mood on court. But his tail is up here. Love 15, chance to get back into this set.
All.
Best rally of the match so far. And the decibel level going up on Rod Laver Arena.
Yeah, great rally, Peter, and I would even venture to say
15.
that was the best shot. That short, deliberate backhand to bring an opponent forward, a great extra dimension in de Minaur's game.
Certainly the longest rally of the match so far.
All.
Nicely done. He's been under so much pressure. There's Francisco Cerundolo on that wing.
Well, that's just too good. I thought he was going to pay a price for a pretty average return of serve, and didn't do an awful lot wrong here. That approach was deep in the court. Unbelievable pass.
That's now surpassed de Minaur's short backhand. Yeah, the slice needs work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a real contrast to the other ground strokes he possesses. He looks like he decelerates almost on it, and I can't tell from this angle, Colin, but it may be a bit front on too.
Yeah, very front on. He's just lazy with the feet there.
Yeah, that was a poor shot and a waste.
Bit of a head scratcher why he would go for a slice there.
Oh. And then he does that.
Advantage.
It's just a bulldozer of forehand, isn't it?
Rarely do you see such easy power.
Game.
And so the break back.
Five games all.
Well, that's giving some voice to the Argentinian fans in the house.
Well, they might be small in number, but they're big in passion and energy. And they like what they're seeing here. This for the first time now. This year's Australian Open for Alex de Minaur. This is the first time he's been really uncomfortable. He's got a significant test on his hands now. Hour on the clock in this opening set. We're still none the wiser which way it's headed.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love.
It's going a little bit easier for Cerundolo. $40-15.
Very scrappy start to the set for anyone that wasn't with us. Both players, it seemed, just adjusting to the conditions, but it looks as if they've done that now. Really pushing each other for this opening set.
Game Cerundolo.
Well, a comfortable hold in the context of everything for Cerundolo. And he's in front, 6-5 on serve, opening sets. Untidy to start, but we've got a real contest now.
Pressure situation here for de Minaur, isn't it? Things were looking good at 5-4, 7 for the set. Crowd were comfortable, relaxed. So for a bit of tension in the arena now. He did well there. That wasn't easy overhead. He's having to move a long way to his left. It's easy to get the body in a bit of a mess, but that was good.
15 all.
See Adolfo Gutierrez on the left-hand side, just giving some advice. That the big advantage of having a coach right on court with you.
Yeah, and he's very much still the coach, isn't he?
Yes.
You know, Leighton Hewitt's there as Davis Cup captain, and he's mentored de Minaur throughout his career. Questionable drop shot. Shot selection there again from Cerundolo. He's playing a good point. It's almost like it's just
15.
it's ingrained in his tennis system, isn't it, to look for that shot.
Should be considering putting it back in the racket bag.
I think so in these conditions, especially in this moment. You know, the pressure is on de Minaur here.
Even in isolation, that drop shot, see how precise Cerundolo needs to be.
30 all.
You just got to be able to drop it over and really hope that the de Minaur's out around the Melbourne side, the back of the court.
And de Minaur here, yeah, he looks tense to me. A couple of errors. He's feeling the pressure. So Cerundolo is, you know, just rock solid, ball in play, keep a good length. Doesn't need to go for too much here, I don't think. This is a real test for Alex de Minaur, the biggest test he's had in this tournament so far.
Got him again. And a set point here for Cerundolo.
30.
That
40.
is just colossal. I mean, shades of Martín del Potro, the great Argentine. He could smack a forehand. This guy has picked up where he left off.
Fault.
And it's the first set to the 31st seed.
7 games to 5.
A double fault from de Minaur. He's 6th of the match. And Francisco Cerundolo, a set to the good. He takes it 7. And Fitzy courtside. Colin mentioned at the back end of that opening set that de Minaur was maybe getting a little tight, tightening up slightly. Was that the sense that you got at the back end of that first set?
Well, I think part of that issue is that Cerundolo has found his rhythm a little bit now, and his ball is incredibly heavy. He's dangerous for the back of the court. And the power, I think, might have been, well, it's a lot more than de Minaur has faced in this tournament so far, and he did look unsettled. I mean, you can't drop a ball in the middle of the court to that forehand, or the odds are you're going to lose the point. So he's under that sort of pressure, but also he didn't play at the top of his game. I mean, he served 6 double faults in that set to start with. He just looks a tiny, tiny bit out of sorts. But I think that's got a lot to do with the ball that's coming at him.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. This serve has been a problem for Alex de Minaur.
40 love.
He's Done a lot of work trying to beef up the first serve, add a bit of pace to the second. In his first 2 rounds, he hit 4 double faults against Van de Zandschulp in 3 sets, and 3 double faults against Boyer in the second. So 7 double faults across 6 sets, and then 6 double faults in the first set here. First serve percentage, just 47 as well. And look, every player, I fully believe, some more than others, but every player to an extent, the serve sets the tone for the rest of your performance. If you serve well, it's a real foundation to go and, you know, do the rest of the things that you do. But if you're struggling, that can filter into other areas of your game. And that combined with the threat that Cerundolo possesses, as Fitzy says, I think he's looking uncomfortable here, de Minaur.
Good company, Cerundolo, if he's able to get the win. Let's have a look at the change in the wind predictor here. That is a wild swing. That's, for me, that's too much of a swing.
75% Cerundolo, did I read that correctly?
Don't adjust your screen, but I don't agree with that.
Well,
15 love.
A lot of it's down to the percentage of service points won, you know, how comfortably they're holding. And Cerundolo is doing a much better job on his serve. He's won 82% of first serve points, de Minaur just 65. There is no doubt de Minaur needs to raise his level here.
Saw him in the opening set as well, just trying to fire up the crowd, just try and get himself going. Crowd pretty subdued. We haven't had too many long rallies, relatively speaking, in the match. Longest rally, 25 shots. Mentioned that slow start that both players got off to. They did pick up towards the back end of the set, but still those spectacular points few and far between.
$40-15.
Yeah, good hold.
One game all.
It's a different feel in terms of the atmosphere. Obviously, the majority of the stadium supporting Alex de Minaur, but the comparison, say, from here on Rod Laver Arena to what we've seen with the Aussies on Cain Arena in terms of the noise factor is different. 2 stadiums in terms of the crowd reaction. So the players are different too.
It's a little bit,
Love
I think, where de Minaur sort of needs to ignite the crowd as well. You know, give them a sort of a sustained period of some real quality like he's capable of doing.
30. Fifteen, 30.
Well, now this is where it could ignite.
15.
It's not a good
40.
game here so far from Cerundolo. He played really well to win that opening set, built some real momentum. He's in danger of just handing it back to de Minaur here. So often the momentum in a match is on the line at the start of every set, you know, and that can be the challenge of best of 5 set tennis. You know, so many ebbs and flows, and trying to keep your focus. That's what the best players do. The level dips far less often.
Example, as Fitzy talked about, that easy power that he can generate.
He didn't even try there, did he? He just sort of stroked to forehand, and it's too much to handle.
Yeah, the backhand is the play to go to when you can, but I think Alex should experiment a little bit by taking a bit of speed off, slicing the ball short here. Power doesn't worry the backhand of Cerundolo as much, I don't believe, and it might be time for something just a bit experimental, just to give him something different to look at. He's missed a few slice backhands on big points.
Advantage, Cerundolo.
The other thing is, Cerundolo, both players have really been in trouble on their serve, various stages throughout this set and a bit, but Cerundolo finding a way out.
Well, I would have bet my car on that one. I can't believe he missed that. He's in shock that he missed that forehand, I think.
Hopefully not too long a walk home, Fitzy.
Yeah.
Mind you, the car's not worth a lot.
I was going to say, be halfway decent, wouldn't it?
No.
Let's second serve.
winning that battle.
Advantage.
Just seemed to
Minaur.
up the ball speed there, de Minaur. Really going after his own shots and actually going a little more into the forehand. He won that cross-court battle. What a blow this would be for Cerundolo if he's broken here after that sitter forehand on game point.
And it is a break of serve. Something to fire up this Rod Laver Arena crowd. De Minaur 2-1 in the seconds.
Minaur leads 2-1.
He done so well there, Cerundolo, to save the initial break points, get back to juice, then easy as the forehands to move ahead. 2-1 missed, and there's an opportunity now for Alex de Minaur to go and make him regret that shot. He's got the break, but he's got to put his foot down and put some breathing space between he and Cerundolo.
That's why when we looked at that win predictor and the wild fluctuation that happens,
Yeah, 75%, goodness me.
that tangible of, or intangible of heart, I don't think you can fit that into an algorithm. Particularly
Time.
if
Halt. $15 left.
Peter, I know you've got one of the best colour commentators in the world sitting right next to you there. He was too nice when I said slow the ball down, give him some softer balls on the backhand side. Alex totally ignored my advice. He went hard into the forehand and broke serve. So Colin was sitting there, he knew, but he didn't say. But he has gone into the forehand a bit
15 all.
hard, and strangely enough, Cerundolo missed 3 forehands, didn't he, to lose his serve? But on the first point of this game, he went with a slice, less pace, low. He missed a backhand. So there's room to experiment there, I think.
Well, just to your point, Fitzy, we can see there de Minaur so far 82% of his backhand's topspin, 18% slice. I don't think your point was invalid. I think just looking for something different to break the rhythm again.
15.
I agree. And that stock standard play he just used then, we haven't seen much of it. That's his favourite play. So I would imagine he might start using that a bit more as well.
$15.
great depth of shot again.
40-30.
It's the range that's been troubling de Minaur.
Halt.
Got away with it that time.
It's a fascinating point. Minaur bringing a little slice down the line, attacking the forehand more than he was early in this match. And for me, Cerundolo got away with this drop shot a little. You know, de Minaur was still there in pretty good time. He went for something really sort of high tariff, didn't he? Trying to re-drop. And just got it wrong, got the trajectory wrong. Nothing to worry about, still juice. There's a bit of a worry now, though.
Advantage. Cerundolo.
Oh, well done. So clever in the point construction from Cerundolo. We're back level.
2 games on.
De Minaur trying a few different things, isn't he? Coming in again there. Cerundolo wise to it, though.
I've never seen Alex de Minaur have a crack at his coaching staff before. Never. It's the first time for everything. He's frustrated and a little bit confused as to what style of play to use here.
That's it, it's the confusion, isn't it? He's sort of a little lost, a little uncertain. It's one thing being behind, but knowing what to do. I think he's behind and also feeling slightly lost. Venting there, as we saw, towards his team, his coach, Adolfo Gutierrez, the Spaniard. Cerundolo is a tough guy to get a read on, isn't he? You know, you just think, oh, he's lost his focus here. He gives away his serve, and then all of a sudden the next game he's coming out with some good stuff, breaks right back. Pretty laid-back customer, isn't he? I just think he lets life come at him and, you know, hits big forehands as he goes.
Love 15.
But about controlling that emotion too. He talked about the fact that if things aren't going his way, very demonstrative. He hasn't shown too much of that so far.
No. He hasn't let the dips get to him at all.
I think when they get involved in these long rallies, it's the way Alex plays, but it's not bothering Cerundolo. He likes the pace, and he's trading blows quite comfortably with Alex. And at the moment, he's ahead. So does that mean Alex tries to stay stubborn and tries to keep playing his own way? Or does he start to mix it up more? That's the decisions he now faces.
$15-30.
Well above average, that stat.
Just spending a bit of time there close to his team, looking for a bit of help, a solution.
There's only one guy talking there too, by the way.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Fitzy in the team. You've got Leighton Hewitt there.
30 all.
Davis Cup captain, of course, former world #1. You know, he must have some really interesting insights here, but there's no communication between him and Gutierrez. Gutierrez seems to be the one communicating with de Minaur.
He is. He's the only one.
Tony Roach up in the stand as well.
Just trying to find some spark at the moment as de Minaur being forced further
30.
back in the court behind the baseline. A metre or two behind.
Game Cerundolo.
And he's rolling along. Here we are on serve. It's
Cerundolo
3-2
leads
Cerundolo
3 games
in the
to
second
2.
set.
For me, that's the choice he faces.
Yeah. And I think only twice we've seen his his blueprint of that forehand attack down the line coming into the net. Usually you see that sort of multiple times a game from de Minaur. Try and change things up a little here. Well, there it was.
I think, and that was a heck of a half volley to get into that position, wasn't it? But I think the power of Cerundolo is maybe pushing him back more than he normally would stay back. If the power wasn't as much, he'd be in more down the line.
Let for serve. Love.
A good start for de Minaur. So find a little bit of that spark in the easier service game. If you can finish it off here.
Very nice change-up, deliberately bringing Cerundolo into the net, picking him off. That was a nice mix.
Yeah, so what that does is take Cerundolo out of his comfort zone. So he's as good as Alex is back there, and he will beat Francisco a lot of the time. That's why he's ranked 8th in the world, and Francisco's not. But on this given day, Cerundolo is really pushing him while Alex is playing his game. Something like that takes the opposition out of their comfort zone, and he's got the ability to change it up. I like it. Just, even if it's only for a few games, just change the rhythm a bit.
15 love. $30 love. $40 love.
Well, things are a lot happier in that camp at the moment.
$40-15.
Good finish to that game. Keeping himself in front. And Cerundolo a set and 4-3. Time for this crowd to start getting animated behind their man.
Well, these are dangerous moments for Alex de Minaur, very dangerous. He hasn't looked happy from the get-go today. Well off his game, struggling with his opponent. Never come back from 2 sets to love down in his career, Alex de Minaur. Not saying it's impossible, but he could really do with a good 20 minutes here to win this second set. Actually liked the play from de Minaur. His backhand down the line gave him the chance to attack with his own forehand. Maybe he could have struck that ball a little bigger. But you have to credit Cerundolo, gets the first pass down low. And we know how dangerous the forehand is.
Yeah, it's obviously on his mind now to go into that backhand as a change-up. But he's got to get Cerundolo stretching a bit more, doesn't he, Cole? And by the way, when he missed the volley, he turned in a despondent fashion towards his box. He's a bit confused. Needs a bit more adrenaline too. It's when he plays his best, I think. Well, I've seen him do it. This match is in the balance column, isn't it? I mean, 30 all coming back here from 15-30. this game has the potential to really swing the match one way or the other.
Left for serve.
Yeah, these are the moments. These guys put in countless hours with nobody watching, fine-tuning their game, getting their bodies ready, getting their mind where it needs to be for moments like this. This is when you've got to deliver.
He's been given a gift.
Yep.
An absolute gift. And needs to capitalise on that. Francisco will be ropeable with himself.
And every single second serve from de Minaur has gone into the backhand serve. There was no element of surprise. I think he just froze slightly in that moment.
Ran out of room, Cerundolo on that occasion. And will this fire Alex de Minaur up?
Four games all.
Things still looking very, very serious in the box for de Minaur. I know this is serious business. You know, his hopes and dreams are on the line here, but I think he's got to try and just loosen up a little bit, de Minaur. Give himself some energy, give this crowd some energy. I think it'll help his performance.
He needs a bit of your stand-up comedy, Cain. That's what he needs right now.
Jeez, nobody needs that, Fitzy.
I'm sure that might have the opposite effect, Fitzy.
Do you feel that court level, though? Do you feel this sort of tension?
I feel like he's unsure about how to play it against this guy. He's not playing at his best, probably, but Francisco has to get a lot of credit here. I mean, his game is dangerous, and he's handling the situation really well. Alex is under pressure and a little bit confused about how to structure the points, what tactics to use.
It's interesting too, you were mentioning that chat, Fitzy, that
30-love.
he was having with his team in Adolfo Gutierrez. I'd suggest, now that they're closer, there's been a lot more communication between the two of them than, say, if he was up in the grandstand. There's been a lot of conversation happening, more so than what we usually see.
I just think there's a bit of negativity, more than you normally see. You know, we've seen him vent towards his team a couple of times, but you know, the bottom line, 39 unforced errors from Alex de Minaur today. Yeah, at the very least, sort of do what you do best, and that's dig your heels in, fight, chase everything, put the ball in play. I feel like he could have too much intensity for Cerundolo today.
We're gonna have to stop. There's a spectator now.
And so we'll just pause for a moment.
Apparently there's a...
Yeah, there is a spectator in a little bit of trouble, so safety first here, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to medical emergency, we're going to have to hold play until...
For me. So if he could just right that wrong, it'd go a long way.
I completely agree. I think that's the first thing he's got to fix. Before tactics, before any shot selections, get the mind in the right place. Accept this challenge that Cerundolo is putting down and, you know, face it head on. That's what he normally does.
I think he is confused, though. He's confused about what way to play, how to beat this guy at the moment. And so that's causing the despondency.
40-30.
Has that little break that we had just helped him? Wonderful from de Minaur. And that'll lift his spirits no end.
Maybe just the sort of moment that he needs.
And after you lead 40-love, when it gets back to juice, you feel more pressure. If you're down love 30 and you get back to juice, you feel a little more relief. But Cerundolo now has a lot to lose in this game.
He hasn't won a point since the delay, Cerundolo.
So this is the moment. There are moments in matches and there are moments, and this is one of them. You grab this opportunity, it changes the whole complexion.
Please.
Too good. Oh, it is so big.
Might be the biggest of the bunch. I mean, you knew it was coming. The ball was short. It was shoulder height to be hit. Just whether he could make it or not, and that is so good from Cerundolo.
Well, believe it or not, that's percentage for him, because when you get a ball that presents itself so that you can hit your best shot, you go for it. So all power to Francisco there. That was awesome.
Can you believe it? I mean, we've talked about it. The 3 or 4 times Cerundolo has played the drop shot, de Minaur has got there in good time. This was no different. I mean, he could have played 2 hands on that ball. Chose to slice it. Whatever he did, he's got to make it at the very least.
But he rarely misses that, Colin, doesn't he? I mean, that's why you and I are both you know, in disbelief that he'd missed it. That's strange.
Maybe just the tension of the moment, but also the uncertainty that Cerundolo has created. Some of these big shots that he's come out with. De Minaur possibly feeling he had to do more with the slice. It's a careless error from Cerundolo, who gives de Minaur another bite of this game. Again, it's another slice he'd normally make. And it's just the threat, I think, that Cerundolo presents with his forehand. De Minaur didn't want to leave that ball short in the court and ends up overcooking it.
Big game, that one. And the 31st seed gets through it. We're on serve. It's 5-4 in the seconds.
He did well there, Francisco. That was a moment, as Fitzy said. If De Minaur had been able to break there, that could have flipped this whole match. But what he's done, he's kept him down, hasn't he? He's kept the tension, he's kept the pressure on with that hold. What a game we've got coming here. It's starting to feel like De Minaur's Australian Open 2025's hopes are really on the line here. This service game is massive.
The anguish, Katie Bolter watching on. As Fitzy mentioned, that level of animation from De Minaur. Don't usually see that from him, and his team is concerned there. So De Minaur under pressure. Quite a tidy set as well. You talk about the unforced errors and that backhand wing. He's certainly reduced them in this second set.
No, he really has. Cerundolo has upped his game and causing De Minaur real problems. Just interesting at the change of ends for the first time. Adolfo Gutierrez, De Minaur's coach, and Leighton Hewitt really starting to engage in the coach's box, starting to discuss things.
It's not going to break down anytime soon, that forehand, at that range. He's not going to miss too many from there.
It's going to pay some serious bills for him throughout his tennis career. Again, it's the ease at which he generates that devastating power.
Hanging in though.
5 games all.
I don't think Alex de Minaur can rely on Francisco Cerundolo going away here. You know, he's not afraid to play big players. He's been in the top 20 in the world himself. But in his career, 23 times he's played top 10 players. He's won 11 of those matches. He's got a game that can really trouble the big guns. The mentality, he's not afraid to beat them.
Well, that one works. And the frustration continues for de Minaur.
30-love.
Best drop shot he's hit all day. Inside out forehand drop shot.
I don't think it's in Alex's nature to blame anyone, but today he's looking at the box, and when he does, his body language drops.
Yeah,
it's a strange way to see him operate on a tennis court.
and there's no one to blame there. That's just too good from Cerundolo.
Yep. If he comes forward, he's not as comfortable. He'll still hit some winners from there, especially if he can get two hands on that backhand. But it's different, and I'd rather see him have to do that, move forward and hit a backhand, than just rally like he's been doing the last, how long is it, hour and a half? 2 hours.
Let's for serve.
That's why Ash Barty chopped up so many opposition, because she took them out of their comfort zone, made them hit shots they weren't used to hitting.
Well, again, Cerundolo showing he's not overly comfortable at the net. It was his decision to come in there.
30-all.
Got ourselves another significant moment here. 5-all, 30-all. Can de Minaur find a way to break this time?
Oh, great hands from Cerundolo.
Oh, cannot believe he's made that very difficult half volley, and he's produced the beauty there.
I'd rather see him have to make that shot than get a short forehand in the middle of the court. I mean, that could, anything could have happened there.
Yeah. Cerundolo plays that shot 10 times. I think de Minaur wins 8 or 9 of them.
Finds a way out of that game too.
Cerundolo lead.
It's 6-5 in the second set for Cerundolo.
In Buenos Aires, this ain't nothing.
You got that experience firsthand, Fitzy.
Oh,
Player
yes.
and coach, the captain, I should say. Important moments for Alex de Minaur here.
Great serve, chose to take the high ball out of the air, and there's Never really got in position, lost the flight of it.
Stop. Cerundolo can't believe it. With the reflexes of de Minaur there.
You've got to be kidding me. This is an unbelievable reaction. This, for me, is shot of the tournament. I know we've seen some through the legs and the like, but that is remarkable. And in a big moment as well.
And it ignited a better look in his eyes.
Only player I've ever seen hit something similar was Roger Federer. What a volley.
The negativity comes back straight away. That forehand is magnificent. No other word for me describes it. Magnificent looking shot with the results that it deserves.
Yeah, and anything fractionally short, he's going to get around and play it. I just felt in this second set, he just had more time to be able to set up for that.
Gutsy, really gutsy point from the Aussie. Cerundolo was coming after him there.
30 all.
Well, if you consider the information that Peter came up with earlier, might have been you, Colin, about never coming back from 2 sets to love. Do you think this is a serious situation? For Alex de Minaur, it surely is.
We know one thing, he's going to keep fighting no matter what.
It's just the 4th forehand winner that Alex de Minaur has hit today. And he possesses a pretty good forehand himself. Got himself right on top of the baseline there and let fly.
Hangs in, and he'll be preparing to play his first tiebreak for the year.
6 games all, tiebreak. Each player receives 1 additional video review challenge.
Quality tennis from Alex de Minaur. That's the demon we're used to seeing. Unconditional competitiveness.
Thank you. Players are ready.
Pace
1-0. De Minaur.
off that shot from De Minaur. Cerundolo goes wide. Those particular errors have been few and far between in this second set.
Got the wind in his sails now at 5 points in a row.
0.
5 big points in a row.
De Minaur.
That's where the drop shot can be effective. De Minaur well behind the baseline.
Yeah, I don't mind the shot, Alex. I want to see a few of those. It was a bit more of a drop shot than a short slice. I want the short slice, but if you hit that shot, you've got to move forward because the clay quarters will naturally, subconsciously drop shot you back. You have to have your body moving forward there.
Made to work for it, but he gets the results.
It's a point just dripping in quality. De Minaur doing all he could to hang in and defend, but Cerundolo not to be resisted. The accuracy as well as the power, just too much.
Sitting courtside, that forehand is a thing of beauty. I'm not sure how much I would have paid for it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if only.
But
if only.
I'm not sure I would have got a loan big enough to pay for that. It is just such a beautiful shot. You can get him to move 3 steps forward on the backhand. I think you have a chance.
3-2, De Minaur.
Yeah, just that little short slice. A defensive ball that time from De Minaur, but it brought Cerundolo off the baseline. And got an error. Mini break again here for de Minaur.
Very loose from Cerundolo.
So as always, these sets are a two-set swing. Literally. So he goes 2 sets to love down or 1 set all. If this is 1 set all, the complexion all changes, because there'll be disappointment on one side of the net and there'll be more than hope on the other. And these next few minutes may decide the fate of this third round. Will certainly have a major impact on it.
Wanted to take it on.
Yeah, it was a sneak in. Wasn't necessarily a bad move, just
4-3.
a bad volley. I have to say, I thought he'd made a good move there, de Minaur. Usually he drops those volleys short in the court. That's the one he liked. Was he maybe wary of the speed? Whatever it was, just a volley all wrong.
And the level dropping from Cerundolo. Huge now for de Minaur.
Yeah, just 2 points in a row where he's kind of flicked the forehand rather than really going after it.
6-3. De Minaur.
De Minaur's mindset has been good in this breaker. We haven't seen any of the negativity, and this is a huge moment now.
The crowd on its feet. De Minaur back in the contest. He takes it 7-6. New tennis balls to start off with.
Love 15.
Oh.
30.
2 in a row. Start off this set.
$15.30. All. $14.30.
So another error from Cerundolo. Serve for de Minaur. And this will be a telling game for Cerundolo as to where his mind's at right now.
Yeah, exactly right, Peter. He's known for a player that can be a bit grumpy on the court, get down when things start going against him. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the disappointment of not only losing that second set, but the manner in which he lost it, and the mistakes he made off his own racket. It was a bit of a flat first game, and while you would expect Alex de Minaur, you know, he's got a lot of experience now, the 8th seed, to be coming after him in this game.
Time on court won't be an issue for these players. Fairly quick matches the last couple of rounds.
$15 love.
Spoke of this being a big test for Cerundolo. For de Minaur, he's got to keep the intensity, the level high right here. There's a big chance for him to make a move. Capitalize on that sort of error, that sort of dip from the Argentine.
I mean, that error there we didn't see hardly at all for the first 2 hours of this match. So he has dropped off the pace slightly. He needs to get his act together quickly. Cerundolo here, not the same intensity, I don't think, that I saw earlier.
It's that makeable forehand a couple of times in the deuce court or the first court where he's had that forehand. It's been three-quarter court, just dumping it into the net.
Yeah, I just think his mind has wandered here. The door ajar for the Aussie. No wonder he kicks that ball in frustration.
30 all.
Completely letting Cerundolo off the hook there with that error. It's so uncharacteristic. You know, you think of de Minaur, you think of Hewitt. So many similarities in those moments. Just no chance they would miss a ball like that when they're at their best.
Great depth of shot from de Minaur on that occasion. Seeing that forehand has just dropped in terms of level from Cerundolo, so he's not going to be as afraid to go into that corner.
Another big moment here. This is a golden opportunity for the Australian. I cannot believe that a player this good, who has played so well, can mentally look dejected at this moment.
Yeah.
There is a reason guys are ranked where they are.
And this has been his Achilles heel in his career.
Yeah, Cole, he needs to win this point.
So it comes to the rescue just in the nick of time. It's recognizing, you know, when to really up the intensity. You know, I think that's a feel that the very best players in the world have. Cerundolo needs to up his here, and if anything, he's actually reducing, allowing it to drift away. Looks like he might be able to get out of this game.
Advantage, Cerundolo.
It was for the end of that set, though, in the tiebreak. Just the drop away was quite stark. It was on his racket. He was the one making the errors. Does get out of the game. Let's see if that's a bit of a lifter for him.
Yeah, he's dodged a bullet there. Had he been broken, his head may well have gone down, and things might have started to move quickly. It's, as I say, a bit of an opportunity miss for de Minaur.
So at 2 hours and 37 too, this is starting to get long, isn't it?
Yep.
And I think if Cerundolo just drops a touch on the speed so he doesn't get out wide to that backhand, we'll see de Minaur come in more with that forehand down the line. More and more.
That sort of shot Cerundolo was making on his backhand in the second set with regularity.
I'm keen to know what the win predictor is right now.
He's up to 8 double faults for the match. Here's the wild fluctuations you wanted at Fitzy. Here's the win predictor. And swung back to de Minaur. It was 75% for Cerundolo at the start of the second set.
Tell you what, I've got whiplash just following it across the screen.
He's having a wild day, the win predictor. Certainly a wild match. How do you feel about that, Fitzy? You happy? De Minaur, pretty solid favourite?
Well, right now, looking at the body language of his opponent, yes. And he's not scrambling as many balls back. He's missing earlier in the rally, Cerundolo. Like his intensity has dropped off. It is a golden opportunity for Alex de Minaur to move ahead here.
Signs of the shaky backhand from Cerundolo. But de Minaur wanting to take control of this contest. We're on serve. It's 2-1 in the third.
Still warm out there. Fitzy, it feels like, if anything, the temperature is staying up there close to 30 degrees.
Yeah, it feels like that. It does. I'm not sure it's that hot, but it certainly feels like it on the court, Colin, no doubt. And these guys will be feeling it a lot more than most of us. I just believe that de Minaur now has it. It's there for his taking. He's back on even terms. I heard the first "come on" I've heard for an hour and a half out of his lips. And Cerundolo looks like he's dropped his bundle to a degree. Not totally, of course, but he's not quite the effervescent character I think he might have been a bit earlier. He has dropped his head a bit. I just find it hard to believe he has.
One thing we will keep an eye on is the Cerundolo backhand unforced errors in this set. So in the opening set, it was obviously quite shaky until he got it going. Better in the second set, up to 4 so far in set number 3.
I just think the mindset's a big key here. These players are pretty evenly matched. We felt the second set was close to a must-win for de Minaur. He's got it. I think this is close to a must-win set for Cerundolo. He goes 2 sets to 1 down with the way he's sort of carrying himself. A bit of a negative vibe at times. I would struggle to see him coming back for there. So huge set for the 31st seed.
With that mindset though, Colin, seemingly the backhand is going with it.
Yep.
So the negativity there.
Well, everything drops. Everything drops. If you start thinking negatively and you let your energy levels drop and your focus maybe shifts to complaining to your team or whatever it might be, everything drops. And yeah, the backhand is the weaker wing, is maybe showing more in that department, but the forehand isn't firing like it was either.
He's not into position as well as he was. So that's energy, isn't it? Getting into position. He cannot be tired. He looks like a bull. I mean, the miles he has in his legs are obvious. He's a strong athlete. He has to be super fit, but I just don't feel like he's getting to the ball as well.
And credit Alex de Minaur, who, you know, is being helped by the scoreboard here. Of course, he's feeling better, but we haven't seen the sort of negativity from him. He was venting a little to his team for a set and a half, certainly. I think he's sensing his opportunity here.
Continuing to apply the pressure.
Yeah, that's what we'll see more and more, that play. Because Cerundolo is not getting into position like he was in the first 2 sets, and he's off balance more, a bit slower to the ball, and that approach will hurt him if he's like that. And by the way, it's one of Alex's favourite plays, and I think the speed of shot in the first 2 sets was preventing him from doing it. I think we'll see it more and more.
The tide turning.
Alex de Minaur doing exactly what he needed to do there, getting balls in play. He sort of knew the miss was coming from Cerundolo. It was inevitable with the way he's carrying himself.
I've seen a lot of countrymen play for a lot of years of Francisco's, and rarely do I see this happen. That they are tough, they compete till the bitter end, but he feels like, to me, he stopped competing as much.
It's a first real sign of frustration too, Fitzy. He went to the towel box, slammed the towel down.
There's no, you don't see any hindrance in his movement, do you, from up there?
No, no, it's mindset.
Okay.
I think the negativity that we'll see, Fitzy, down that end, it'll start to manifest too. I think, you know, dropping the racket, throwing the towel, that sort of thing.
It will.
And De Minaur will be aware of that.
Absolutely. And I believe I just saw him tap his quads with his racket frame. He's just totally changed.
Yeah, he's saying physio. He wants the physio. And Greg Allensworth in the chair will get on the phone.
Maybe we can check that wind predictor now. It's got 2 exhaust pipes right now.
And now it's one-way traffic. De Minaur in control of this third set at 4 games.
From this contest, he's called for the physio. That looked like cramp to me, because he straightened the leg out as if the quad on his right leg had cramped. It didn't look like an injury as such. Just seemed to seize up. So this will be interesting, whether he actually gets a medical timeout.
2 hours.
Have to compete a lot better than he did in the last 2 games.
I believe that an order of pickle juice will arrive out on Rod Laver Arena quickly as well. This is huge now for Cerundolo. The set slipping away.
he can smell blood now.
And de Minaur is a nightmare if you're starting to feel a bit of cramp in the legs. The ball is just going to keep coming back. Looking to shorten the point there, coming in.
15.
Sort of semi-serve volley, wasn't it?
The other thing too, Fitzy, it's something that you've played a lot of across your career, but how good is the dynamic of best of 5 set tennis at the majors? I mean, the fact that we have these ebbs and flows through, the strategy, the endurance required. We're at 2 hours and 50 minutes through this third set is just extraordinary, isn't it?
This is where all the drama happens. That's why Davis Cup's lost it. It's lost that drama. This still has it. I mean, the ebbs and flows, the peaks and valleys, the physical burnout, the second wins, all of it.
An important hold for Cerundolo just to slow the de Minaur momentum.
There's evidence of the drop-off from Cerundolo. Look at the average topspin forehand speed, 132 in sets 1 and 2. It's dropped off 7 kilometers an hour on average in this set. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go after some big forehands here, though, if he's looking to shorten the points. De Minaur is going to have to be wary of that.
There's a couple in a row that have just jumped off the baseline.
Love 15.
Talking about ebbs and flows. An example of it right here.
Yeah, this would certainly be against the flow of play, wouldn't it? Cerundolo, though, keeping the ball in more than he was for the first 5 games of this set.
Ledge for serve.
Just feels like calling for the physio. It's just taking a little bit of the momentum away from de Minaur, away from the crowd. They sort of relax, thinking 4-1. This looks like it's set over. And all giving him some time just to clear his mind. And having felt like it was over, this third set is now game on again.
Yeah, I'm putting my hand up, Colin. I'm guilty.
Likewise.
I thought maybe it was over. This is a really strange mini turnaround here. This is against the play, against all of the odds, really.
15-40.
That's been the problem he's experienced in the last 15 minutes or so. He's still courtside, so a chance just to get a little bit more treatment in the sit down. Feel a lot better if he can break. Oh, bang. Right into the hitting zone. And welcome back to this third set, Francisco Cerundolo. We're back on serve. De Minaur 4-3. All of a sudden, Cerundolo back in this contest. The fans down that end of the court finding their second wind.
Well, it's not just his quads that have relaxed, his mind has as well. Just calling for the physio at 1-4. Has completely flipped this third set. He's looking just as dangerous as he did earlier in the match now. Forehand back to his very best, just controlling the point.
Back to that heavy hitting from the back of the court, Fitzy.
Yeah, I still think there's something in the back of his mind about his legs. But he has lifted, hasn't he? Incredibly so. But I'm wondering about that same injury or... Going for more, I believe. And I wonder if that's related.
40,
not sure.
15.
I think it's a reminder as well, in this matchup, he has the greater firepower. 33 winners to 12 at this stage of the match. So he's got the game to shorten the points. If anything, it's actually, when he's at his most dangerous.
Couple of really bad errors from Cerundolo, 2 in a row.
He's got a tendency to get ahead in games and then just switch off. I've seen a few easy forehands missed when he's been up in the game. He's put himself under unnecessary pressure here.
so De Minaur is going to take full advantage. From being well up in this game. Fitzy mentioned it, the fact that how quickly it just drops away from Cerundolo and the body language. And back to your point, Fitzy, he's clearly thinking about his legs, coming forward for a serve and volley. He's done that once before in the match. The pace off the serve. And De Minaur taking advantage.
And for sure, that was no smile when he missed that volley. That was a full-on grimace. I'm not sure if it was pain or just the disappointment of missing the volley, but it's flipped again, hasn't it?
He did look to sort of reach for the left hamstring there, but just unbelievable. Complete switch off from 40-15.
Well, meanwhile, it's somewhat of a smile down this end of the court. And a chance to take a stranglehold on this match now for De Minaur. And he's in control of this contest now. The 8th seed Alex de Minaur, a 2-set-to-1 lead. Priority number one for De Minaur, testing out this movement of Cerundolo. That'll be all over the court, try and bring him forward, move him side to side.
Strangely enough, he's mentally positive again. It's like a roller coaster ride.
But it's not a roller coaster I would want to go on. Fitzy, you mentioned whiplash before. You'd certainly get it if this was a roller coaster ride.
A couple of loop-the-loops, doesn't it?
Oh, don't know if I'd be able to stay in. extra injection of pace from de Minaur on that forehand.
40.
Getting the job done.
30.
Showing he's right up for the fight now. Again, making him play the extra ball. That was a hell of a get, though. He was in the 4th row.
It's the beauty of playing on these big arenas. Plenty of court space. Greg Allen's were trying to get a look at that one.
So just good feel. Put that lob up as high as he possibly could, get back into court. Suddenly rival or something to make him feel slightly better. Certainly holding serve will do that naturally. And he'll take that every day of the week in this situation.
It's the home net.
30-15.
You need a bit of luck at times.
Certainly things a lot calmer in that particular area.
Well, we mentioned earlier in this match, Alex de Minaur has never come back from 2-0 down, so how important that second set was for him. Cerundolo, he's never come back from 2-0 down either. He's never come back from 2-1. down 6 times in his career. He's always lost the match from this position, so needs to do something for the first time here. You just feel with the mental roller coaster that it's been for him, it's no surprise really that when he gets behind in this sort of match, it's tough to come back. You know, you've got to be first and foremost positive with your mindset, ready to compete for the entirety of the match. This looks like the dips that he's had are going to cost him.
De Minaur fan though, he's 20-3 in the majors after leading 2 sets to 1. Although the last time he was beaten was here last year against Andrei Rublev.
Well, that rally from Cerundolo there would surely have beaten the majority of players on this tour. But the defensive skills of De Minaur there showing up and causing some grief down the other end. Great defensive effort.
And he keeps himself in front in his 4 sets. On serve, it's 2-1 in the 4th.
He's done a good job here, Cerundolo, in the first 3 games of this set, just to hang in there. You've got to keep your thinking small in these best of 5s. You know, if you get too far ahead of yourself, think, oh, I've got 2 sets to win here, it can be overwhelming. Just, you know, game by game, step by step, compartmentalize it. Try and find a way to win this 4th. Worry about the 5th if you
Dinner as well.
Let. Second serve.
Just the way that the needle has flicked backwards and forwards between the 2 players in terms of being up, being down. It's been so dramatic, so stark. across these 3 hours and 21 minutes.
It's so well there, de Minaur. He was under pressure. Just his ability to hold his court position, his movement allows him to do that. Open stance forehand there, getting the ball down low. A lot of players would have been defending that ball.
Not by much, but enough. And one of the other things, we talk about all the different things thrown into the mix about this attritional battle that's going on at the moment. It might be only slight, but it's that time of the day where the shadow makes its way across Rod Laver Arena. Next 45 minutes or so become a little bit trickier for the players this time of the day. Almost a bit of a lull at this stage of the match. The crowd just catching their breath as well.
Yeah, I think there's an expectation that de Minaur is going to step up and win this set, but it's, when is it coming? Cerundolo is doing a good job of just digging in here.
Makes me wonder, Colin, what did happen at the end of the third? It was inexplicable.
Yeah, that was the time to dig in, wasn't it? More so than ever.
Just missed it.
40-15.
Just realising by how much. Already on the move there, de Minaur, to track that down.
I like that matchup. From an Australian perspective, he possesses the better slice, Alex, if you can get into that. But I think normally Francisco would just come over or backhand to stop that that matchup. But his slice can be a bit rough around the edges at times, can't it?
A bit of luck going his way. And Cerundolo keeps himself in front in set number 4. It's 3 games to 2.
He's
wanted to get it across.
The ball kid. Get it there.
It's like, hang on, I've got to sort myself out first here.
More sustenance, electrolytes.
Look at this forehand of Cerundolo.
Yes, he's so comfortable playing at open stance, isn't he? Look at the way he's sort of square onto the net there, but he just sort of whips the racket head through, generates so much power. The timing, you know, the body, the arm, and the racket, all synchronized.
Time.
They've made plenty of noise today. They have a lot more work to do. He's made it.
Love.
23 shots, that'll take more at the legs of Cerundolo. Paints the line with the backhand de Minaur. Pinpoint precision. Well, still not serving anywhere near the way he would like to, but it's improved. 6 double faults in the first set, remember. He was really struggling at that time. First serve percentage for the match is 49, but it's 60 in this set for de Minaur.
Thirty, 15.
sometimes we overlook how
40,
physical
15.
Alex de Minaur is. He's can't blow a candle out here. He's been going 3 hours, 30 minutes. Looks just fine and dandy.
And he's been doing a lot of the running at times, hasn't he?
Certainly well out in front in terms of sprints that he's had to make across the court.
Last for serve.
Well above the average for a 5-set match already.
Yeah, we always praise and reference the speed that he has, the court coverage, but he can do it all day as well. Serious engine.
It's one of the few drop shots from Cerundolo where de Minaur
15 love.
hasn't been able to run towards it. Well back in the court. Extraordinary from de Minaur.
Well, he pumps the thighs. The speed demon, the best mover in the sport. Incredible defense.
15.
And that's after 3 hours and a half. Is that the moment? This crowd's gone ballistic here.
Well, he wasn't going to be drop shotted twice in a row. And how has he got to that ball? Quite incredible. The moment just became too much for Cerundolo.
And now, could that be the tide turning in this set?
15-30.
There's a sign of intent. De Minaur chasing down that ball. Cerundolo's feeling it. We're going to feel a lot more now.
It looks like it may well be the straw that broke the camel's back. It remains to be seen, but that's the feeling here now.
Thank you.
Pretty cool winner, wasn't it?
Yeah. In that situation.
I think he's tired of the ball coming back. Have some of that.
And he gives it away. De Minaur getting closer to a spot in the fourth round. It's 4-3 with a break. He's getting closer to a spot in the fourth round. Cerundolo tired in mind and body right now. Can he lift again?
Thank you. Players are ready.
Oh, he let it go.
15
That's straight through him. Well, it's Cerundolo. We need to go, keep going for more. His movement's going to be hampered. So a depth of shot like that will help. Oh, he's made that as well. My goodness. It's testing out the movement, but he's coming up with the right shots.
Yeah, De Minaur gesturing as if he thought it missed, but it's clipped the line.
30.
Good depth there, just drawing a short ball and stepping in. He's got the firepower, doesn't he, to keep the points short. He's dangerous still.
Average rally length in this set, 6 shots. Overall, we've had 5 shots. It's on the high side. The thing is, though, is that for Cerundolo, those unforced errors up to 75 for the match, they just seem to come in runs, where it's consecutive points, error, 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 and then he comes good, winner, winner, winner. A streaky way to play, it just makes it so hard to get a tell on what's going on with him, how he's feeling. Attempt at the volley.
Well, it's similar to the problems he's had on the slice backhand. Very square onto the net there, and
40,
just got the shot all wrong.
He did, Colin. I can't help thinking that it's the speed of De Minaur that's a bit frightening too. You feel like you've hit a lot of winners and they come back. And it probably culminated in that extraordinary get he made last game. And I think you end up going for a bit too much. Something extraordinary yourself. Yeah, but that was a poor attempt at a volley, wasn't it?
Got him again. No problems there.
I think he's got himself a new celebration, Alex de Minaur. And I really like it because it represents just what an incredible athlete this guy is. There is no such thing as a lost cause on a tennis court. You pump those thighs, Demon.
Hey, Cole, I have an answer for you on the question we had earlier. Who's quicker? For those not listening, we were comparing him to one of his mentors, Leighton Hewitt, and they're both quick, but he might just get the nod after that.
Oh, it took 3 hours and 42 minutes to get there, Fitzy.
He's determined.
15 left.
He hasn't strayed too far away from throwing that in. That's how precise he's needed to be.
Hasn't he knuckled down well, though? You know, the first 2 sets, for the majority of them, it was... He was despondent towards the team. He was looking for sort of tactical answers. But I think since the end of that second set, he's just knuckled down to the fight more than anything. Accepted that he's going to have to watch a few balls fly past him today. He's going to have to defend and chase and scurry and fight. And doesn't he do it so well at times?
Please, no, not now.
Just too good now. Closer and closer to the finish line.
The soft hands here just rolls up the outside of the ball.
Does get through here, be one of his finest performances. The fact that he wasn't playing well, he was down and out, the shoulders dropped, and he's turned it around. Typical Alex de Minaur performance in terms of sticking to the task, finding a way. Yeah, that was smart, that drop shot. De Minaur was so deep in the court. Very calm, wasn't it? Break, excuse me, match point down as well. At least Cerundolo wants de Minaur to serve it out.
Cerundolo.
at least win this game and then see what happens. See momentum shifts all throughout the match. That's well done. Haven't seen a lot of it today, but that worked beautifully.
Yes. Would the gentleman sitting behind me who keeps yelling between first and second serve stop? Thank you. Advantage. Cerundolo.
See 54 sprints. That's going at pace to reach the ball.
And he's still going strong.
Yeah, it's off the scale. Look at how much distance both of these players have covered, but especially de Minaur.
He's been stronger mentally and physically today than his Argentine opponent.
All the training sessions that these players do and the fitness work and everything like that, that's why they do the extra. For moments like this, situations like this, matches like this, 3 hours and 50 minutes. To do the work, to be able to put in your best performance at moments like now. That shot in particular from Cerundolo, the opening couple of sets, was money for him. He barely missed an off forehand like that.
Well, this game has almost encapsulated the match, hasn't it, from the 31st seed. It's been brilliance. But it's been a few errors as well, a few too many.
Cerundolo.
Talk about how it encapsulates what we've seen. The Rolex sign there. We've had so many long games, 5, 6, 7 minutes. This attritional battle between these two. It's been incredible to watch. third time lucky.
Advantage. De Minaur. Please.
De Minaur finds a way.
De Minaur. 3 sets to 1. 5-7.
In one of his gutsiest performances. A war of attrition against a Francisco Cerundolo who was here to play. But De Minaur gets it done, and he's through to the 4th round again.
Look at these scenes